Hey there, gorgeous gays. Version 2 here with Let's React to the Wholesome Direct. We're still catching up on not E3. We're back for another day. I wasn't sure if I was going to finish all of this or if I was, how long it was going to take. But due to circumstances, we're not able to do it. So we're going to finish this. For the YouTube video, this will all be split up. But today I'm watching Wholesome Direct and then Xbox and then Nintendo. So those are coming as well. We're going to do this. I'm still going to go relatively quick because these are still long as hell. But let's get into it. More indie games. I should really, you know what, fuck it. I said I was going to do it last time. And I literally keep a stack of system cards next to me at all fucking times on this table. I'm gonna, if I'm intrigued by something, I'm gonna write down the fucking name of it, and then I can go over my list of names at the end of what my personal highlights are, and then I can like bookmark those in my fucking computer to remember that I'm interested in these games, because that is the hardest part for me when they give me 50 games that look interesting in a row, is remembering which ones I want to fucking look up later to actually go and play. That's by far the hardest part about this. Anyway, we're gonna watch this. Okay, it's immediately loud. It is immediately loud. The last one ended up really quiet for the YouTube video and I had to bump up the volume. I think just before it starts hitting the yellow on OBS is the correct point, but I don't know. It's farming sim. I'm already seeing I'm seeing farming simulators. I called it. I said during one of the others that how much of the Wholesome Direct is just going to be farming simulators, and I swear I'm looking at a lot of farming simulators already. Okay, well that's not farming. That's not farming. Too loud. I feel like it's loud on my end. Oh, so my volume is way louder than normal. Oh, it's way louder than 50.
Welcome to Wholesome Direct, a celebration of wholesome games.
Let me turn that down.
I'm Jenny Wyndham, and I'm joined by my wonderful co-hosts Mary Kish and Josh Boykin.
Sit back and relax as we show you exclusive footage and announcements from nearly 100 wholesome games.
I joked about 50.
And don't forget, if you see any games that you love, you're going to want to go to wholesomegames.com.
I was joking when I said 50 games
you can find out
as like an exaggeration of how many they showed. Nearly 100?
Let's get started.
I can't know. I'm glad I have a pen and paper. There'll be a test
place,
after this.
Devoid of life.
Farm it into it. Sorry.
Until the first turbine is constructed.
Am I actually right? Is it actually farming?
Rivers flow once more, and nature's heart begins to beat. Then, it's time to recycle and move on.
Look, indie games, I get that you love
Along
farming,
the tropical
but
coastline, life
farming games is not my
thrives
thing.
anew.
Although this seems more in depth than just a farming
Parrots
thing.
flit beneath the verdant canopy, while fish frolic in the abundant coral reefs.
But this seems to be a
paradise
terraforming thing to restore
of
nature,
biodiversity.
which is more
Even
complex
in the
than
most
farming.
inhospitable of places, life finds a way.
You got rid of lava. You're still on an active volcano there, bud. You just turned it into Yellowstone. Okay, this does
We
look
just
good.
need to give it a
And the
helping
art
hand.
style is great.
This is Terra Nil.
Terra Nil. I feel like that's like so the polar opposite of what a lot of problems with a lot of games where it's colonialism of going to a new land and strip it bare, where this is going into a bare land and literally restoring biodiversity.
You're about to watch our very first trailer.
So like,
let's get cooking.
you know what, fuck it. It's probably not a game I'd play because I'm just not into like those style of like gameplay games, but I'll write down Terra Nil. Oh, that reminds me. I gotta make I want to make some buttermilk, like popcorn chicken, but it's mushrooms. I had this thing growing up so much when I was younger, Bushman shrooms or Sydney shrooms, where it's like popcorn chicken from KFC, but instead of being chicken inside, it's like the white crab small button mushrooms, and it's so fucking tasty. I've been wanting to make them a bunch for ages, and I found out a way to do vegan buttermilk. I just haven't gotten around to it. Honey Bear is angry. Just need to write down 99 more. As I said, there will be a test. Little Bear Chef. Look, it took me a while to read what that is.
Hi, I'm Majo Felix, and I'm the composer.
Cooking is also not my type of thing. Again, nothing against them. There's only people out there who love that stuff. It's just like, you know, I have types and aesthetics of games that I really love.
Host, founder and Mel Pastel and co-director of Melodies. We're happy to show you a small peek of our game, Melodies.
The name is immediately intriguing. Oh, that is adorable character
In the
design.
Odyssey, You follow the story of a young kid's journey through beautiful landscapes in search of inspiration.
Is that more
Solve
movement
block
to the
moving
rhythm?
puzzles, listen to calm music, and discover relaxing ASMR scenes in this stress-free exploration adventure coming next year.
That is adorable character design. That is adorable character design. Turning the music notes into characters, that's cool. This is our second bear game.
Jack wants to return nature to its former glory with the help of his trusty axe and his animal friends.
Oh, you give the little dog a pet. Dog? Bear? Not sure. Evil works!
Slice through machinery, slap some sense into wasteful humans, and work with wacky woodland critters to thwart the sinister plans of industrial giant Evil Works.
Okay, I like this already. Okay, this is great. Okay, does it make sense for the bear to just be like, oh, I want to take back nature and get rid of, like, all of the, like, humans wasting all of the land and stuff, and then going to play golf? Does that quite check out? I feel like golf is another thing that wastes a lot of land. Or maybe not mini golf. Maybe, because it did say mini golf, so maybe mini golf is a bit more reasonable than, yeah. Lumberjack. Okay, that one gets a write down. That one gets a write down. Lumberjack. There we go. I think I've written down half what's shown so far.
I'm
This is
Louis
gonna go well.
developer of The Garden Path. Maybe you recognise the game from last year's Wholesome Direct. The Garden Path is a slice
was
of
a
life
year
sim
ago, I'm
about the
not
joy
going
of
to
gardening
remember, I'm
designed to
sorry.
be played in short moments. Time in the game runs in concert to the real world, and the passing seasons bring with them new stories, errands, as well as a living garden.
Was that
grows as
character
you tend it.
creator for
The Garden
gender?
Path is releasing just later
a
this year on
four-quadrant
PC, Mac,
chart?
Linux, and Nintendo Switch. And if you're looking
The
to explore the
smartest
garden
thing I've
early,
ever
we're running
seen.
a
It's
limited
not
access to the
Gunbrella.
game on itch.io.
Something like
Thanks,
Gunbrella
and
is
enjoy the
something
rest
that
of the
like
direct.
makes a massive impact in your face, right? Like again, it's nothing against farming
This is
simulator. I mean,
Newton
that
and
seems
the
like
Witch's
more
Mountain,
like a walking
a
simulator. or
relaxing
anything like
experience.
that. Like
where
nothing
you're an
against those
aspiring
games.
witch. Help the townspeople by carrying
It's
their
just
packages
the nature
and
of these
discover hidden
wholesome
secrets while soaring
versions
freely
of
on your
these
magic
things.
broom.
They do often show a
You'll be
lot of
enchanted
them
by
in a
stories from
row,
locals
so it's
and the
hard for
colorful
them to
art
stand
style.
out because they are
Time here
because
has a way of
from the
flying by.
sizzle that you get of watching it for like 30 seconds. They have like watching something for 30 seconds, unless something is radically different,
Hey
you can
there,
get down
hello.
like basic
I'm
genre
Colin.
and aesthetic,
This
and that's
is
about
Max.
it.
We're making 30 birds with a team of friends.
There's a new demo
And also
on
that
Steam
game
if
was
you want to
cute.
give it a try.
The
For
Nick
now,
and the
enjoy
Witch's
the
Broom.
trailer.
Enjoy.
Also, hi
Bye.
Valen. I don't know if I actually said hi. Hi Valen. Hey, what's the aesthetic of this? It's like flying in space. 30 birds. Oh. So you got something like this where like the aesthetic immediately jumps out at you, right? Okay, one thing I will say, I saw the word Jin there, and the music. Was it white people at the start
It's
making a
mail
game with
time.
Indian culture?
As a newly trained male scout,
I didn't actually
put on
see
your
it.
pack,
They were on screen for a couple
grab
seconds,
those
I didn't actually
letters,
properly
and
notice.
deliver them across Grumblewood Grove. Since its appearance in last year's Wholesome Snack, Mail Time has had a successful Kickstarter, confirmed a
I was about to
Switch
say,
port,
this looks
and is
familiar, but not from
debuting
last
a
year.
new
No, it was
area
on
here
Kickstarter, so I
for
think I
the
saw this
first
on
time.
Twitter. I think I saw this on Twitter. The character that you play as just looks so familiar, so I think I've seen this on Twitter.
In this
Bunny
very
pets.
first gameplay trailer for Usagi Shima, we get a taste of the cozy, relaxing bunny collecting game. Decorate an abandoned island and discover and make friends with a variety of cute, curious bunnies.
friends with bunnies. Feed the bunnies. Brush the bunnies.
We're just getting started, but I'd like to take a moment to mention our collaboration with the Galaxy Fund.
Helping bring games from nothing
They're
to
doing this
something.
incredibly
This is a
rapid fire.
prototype grant focused on the early stages of development for BIPOC and queer creators.
Each creator is free to use the funds however they want, like staffing, hardware, coaching,
Actually,
legal
like,
fees, childcare,
mentioning,
or therapy.
like, diversity, like,
We've
properly.
partnered with the Yeti to offer two
I think this is the only one out of all of them that's done that. I don't even know if Dave the devs did that.
And 100% of the proceeds will go to the Galaxy Fund.
This is one small but impactful step that we can take to make our industry a
Does
more
Indie World
inclusive
count?
space. Where
Does
bold
Indie World
new
by
ideas
Nintendo count?
can
Because they
flourish.
specifically go
If you'd
for
like
like
to learn more,
a
head
lot
over
of
to
different countries for Indie World.
supportgalaxy.fund and get your
Like when the
limited
people
time
talk for
shirts
Indie
over
World,
at
there's a lot of them
theyeti.com
where they don't speak
/Wholesome
English because
Games.
like they're not an English-speaking country and they never learned it.
Hello.
So I don't know if that
I'm
counts.
back again.
I can't believe it's been a year since we announced to walk with Yaya at last year's Wholesome Direct. I've added
Okay,
lots
this-
of new things to the game in the last year.
And
I'm
we have a
pretty
brand
sure I
new
recognize
trailer for
this
the game.
immediately.
Check it out.
Check it out.
I think I recognize this. I don't know, just like the guy like making a game that's like about his grandma or something like, or like a family member like that. Though the aesthetic of the game isn't reminding me of anything. And it's soon. I can't write down every game that looks a little interesting, because otherwise I'll write down way too many games and then I'll forget what they are again. I have to write down games that like do a big standout for me. It's not that I'm judging the games of just like, well, these are the best ones or anything like that. It's just, you know, personal taste and stuff like that.
Play as an adorable chicken on an adventure to find the answer to the question, which came first, the chicken or the egg?
I want to see more of the platforming to see like how, like, what it does. Oh my god, it's Skyloft. So at least this is going rapid fire, unlike certain shows that spend way too fucking long talking about individual things. I feel bad for just being like, oh, Wholesome Direct's just gonna be a bunch of farming simulators, and like, I've already lost count of how many there've been. I know there's people who love these games. I know there are people who these are like the only types of games that they play. Like, they just want a cute little thing that they come to each day. Like, they're not a gamer who's going to like keep up with like the industry of like the latest trends and like all the hyperest graphics and like most intense gameplay and stuff like that. Like, they just want a cute little thing. Like, there are people where the only game, like, like them as a gamer, the only game that they play is Animal Crossing and stuff like that. And that's totally fair. That's totally fair. I get nothing against those people and
You'll never be
everything
judged
like that.
in terms
I
of
just
good or
know
evil,
something.
and you'll never know when you're making decisions. Ready to find out who you are?
Hello everyone.
What was that
I'm
called?
Baptiste, one of the co-authors.
It did enough that it stood out. What was it called?
Rewrite.
Watch it from the start again. The aesthetic was cool, some of the movement seemed cool, and it seemed like the branching narrative is just based on...
Free Ride is an RPG that's secretly a personality test.
Secretly a personality test. Do you smash everything for the
You'll
retail
never be
worker and
judged
make
in
their life
terms of good or
miserable?
evil, and you'll never know when you're making
You'll never be
decisions.
judged in terms of good or evil. I immediately like that. Your karma scale being on a linear good to evil thing is dumb
Ready to
and
find
bad.
out who you are?
Hello everyone. I'm Baptiste, one of the
Free ride gets
co-authors
a ride,
of
yeah.
How to Say Goodbye. And this is Bruna. She's one of the many ghosts who will help move forward in the afterlife. Our upcoming narrative puzzle game talks about grief and how to deal with it in a kind and sensitive way. We hope you'll enjoy it.
we saw this. We actually. Oh yeah, we saw this. I was about to say the aesthetic of the ghost looks kind of familiar. Yeah, we saw this in the Day of the Devs as well. It was like right at the end, so I wasn't paying attention because I was losing it. First stream back and being so late, so I was losing it. But I distinctly remember it. You know what? It does enough. I'm gonna write that one down too.
You may remember this game from the first ever Wholesome Direct back in 2020.
That I did
Calico
watch.
is a silly and sweet day-in-the-life community sim. The new Possum update adds a new and improved cooking game with all sorts of mini-games for the different recipes. There's also wallpaper and rug customization and new farm animals to collect.
Your tiny, tiny humans taking care of, like, giant cat gods. I like that.
Once upon a time, there was a small animal village where everyone lived in peace and harmony. Until the king suddenly disappeared.
I thought it was going to be like, and then it got blown up, but that didn't seem wholesome.
Find Sir Barrington.
Violence? In my Wholesome Direct?
Ever-changing board game-sized world where each playthrough is different.
Oh yeah, you can see it's on like a table.
Use your abilities strategically to outplay and
oh, and you get like cheered on down the bottom.
Meet cute characters and relax with your friends at the campfire.
Oh, I'm getting so much Paper Mario vibes.
Your own dinos.
Like, not in that it is exactly like. Okay, no, never
and
mind. It's definitely
launches in summer 2022.
I was about to say, not that it's like exactly like Paper Mario, but it's literally called Paper Animal RPG. Yes, it's meant to be like Paper Mario. That gets a fucking write down. That gets a write down. Because it's like, I don't want to compare like all of these indie games to like big budget games and stuff like that. But then I called that one Paper Mario. Then it was called Paper. And even the font, like, come on. They know what they were doing. Okay, I saw a couple, like, the art was cute, but I didn't see anything else about that.
Fall of Porcupine is a unique story adventure about an unhealthy healthcare system. Not only is there a lot to discover in the old hospital, but also in the small town itself.
Geez, I wonder what this could possibly be like a metaphor and symbolism of. I wonder what it could possibly be.
The Last Clockwinder is a VR puzzle game set in a cozy sci-fi world.
I don't have VR, sorry.
Your mission is to repair the clock tower, an ancient haven for the world's plants and seeds built into the trunk of a colossal tree. Use a pair of magical gloves to turn every simple task into a looping clockwork automaton.
I've so infrequently played VR games in my life, but every single time I have, I've been impressed. But I've only ever played VR games in the sense of like,
hi, this is Anonymous Penguin
tech
Studio,
demo or see the
this is our
or see the cool thing.
You can follow us on
I've never like
Studio
played like a
Twitter
full experience of a VR game, and I would love to.
Until then, goodbye and stay wholesome.
Because a bunch of them seem like they like do some cool stuff.
In Loveburb, you play as a heartbroken bird ready to dip back into the dating scene. Impress your dates by flirting to the rhythm of the music. Sometimes you'll succeed, sometimes you won't. Sometimes it gets a little awkward. Your goal is to find your one true love, so keep swiping.
Okay, that's cute. That's cute.
Welcome to the world of Spirit Swap, lo-fi beats to match 3-2, a joyful queer game about friends.
I'm pretty sure I've seen this on Twitter as well.
Why so many
yeah.
spirits keep popping up in your town?
Pretty confident that I've seen this on Twitter. Pretty sure I saw people talk on Twitter. It was either I saw people like retweeting the devs or people just being like, "Hey, I'm gonna recommend you
Play the
like
new limited time
games,
demo
and
now
here's a
on
bunch.
Steam,
Pretty sure I saw
featuring
this on here.
updated art, music, and story moments. And get ready
It's
to
just sad
enjoy
that
the
I'm
full game in
incredibly terrible at
2023.
match 3 games.
Thanks for watching.
I am so fucking bad at match 3 games. I pick out your mom. Wait, you're a bird. That doesn't work.
Coffee Talk Episode 2, Hibiscus and Butterfly, is the sequel to the hit coffee brewing game, Coffee Talk. Episode 2 will have new characters, new features, and new drinks to serve to your favorite patrons.
There's a game that this is reminding me of. I'm sorry for just like saying for every game, this reminds me of another game. But this is reminding me of something. Valhalla. But instead of a booze...
Get your apron on.
Instead of
a
a boozy den,
2023.
it's a coffee shop. So it counts as more wholesome. Yeah. Yeah, Valhalla, yeah. Pretty sure I've asked several times if I should play Valhalla. I'm pretty sure the response is always yes.
Welcome to the musical world of Aurora. Let me introduce you to our protagonists. Blue House, Red House, and Yellow House. You can place them wherever you like. Or even on top of each other. For every decision you make, you'll get a different rhythm or a different melody, and you'll be able to create your own songs with it. But enough words. Let's listen to some music. Bye-bye!
I like your energy. Just make songs by placing the houses. So this is the cool shit about indie games, is like, it's just something so cool and different.
In Frogun, your grappling gun is a frog, and that frog is your best friend.
Which then I feel bad that the indie games that I like are like for genres that have had a lot of history.
Help Renata save her parents in the mysterious ruins.
So like as a 3D platformer, this is immediately appealing to me, and I'm just like, oh, look at these indie games, and they're doing super unique things that like you don't see anywhere else in video games. And then you give me like a genre of game that I've played like 50 of, and I'm just like, oh, but I like that genre. More farming. Again, nothing against the farming simulators. It's just there's
Build a
lot
garden, grow plants for your potions and spells, and forge friendships with the townsfolk.
Like if you're an
regarding
indie
which
dev out there that's making like a farming simulator, don't get it wrong. I'm not saying that you made a bad decision or like I think it's bad or anything like that. It's not
Next
that.
time on
It's
a new
more so
episode of Princess Farmer.
good
With
luck
the mystery
standing out from the
solved,
pack.
Everyone is off to the island
'Cause there's
for
a
a
lot of
well-deserved
them.
vacation.
Like I feel like indie games already struggle enough to stand out
Now's
from each
the time
other.
to kick up their
So when
feet,
you make
relax,
it a
and- oh, what's
farming
that?
sim,
There's a shell matching tournament?
I feel like that difficult like that. I feel like it's either one of two ways. Either there's so many farming simulators because there's so much demand for it that you can like a number of them do well, or it's playing indie game development on hardcore difficulty because it becomes so much harder to stand out as why people should buy your farming simulator over others with how many exist. Like this is Zooblets, right? And like this one stands out, so it's alright other things. But like this is a game where you go out and go farming. And also you can like come back inside and decorate your places and build up your town. Now which one of the 3 games in so far in Wholesome Direct where that exact phrase that I just described is true am I talking about? Like, it's more so that, like... I mean, it's the same if you're an indie developer and you're making roguelikes, right? If you're an indie developer making roguelikes, Is it a case of, well, there are so many roguelike fans and so many people love roguelikes that it's easier for like people to buy it because people who love roguelikes will like probably buy your thing? Or is it way harder because you've got so much competition, so it's harder
For
for
those
people
just
to
joining, we'd like to remind you about our collaboration with the Galaxy
yours.
Fund.
Equity begins at the leadership level, and sometimes those initial barriers are the hardest to overcome.
That's where the Galaxy Fund comes in.
Don't worry about it.
It's a
Fine.
prototype grant focused on the early stages of development from BIPOC and queer creators.
We've partnered with the Yeti to offer
Oh, yeah, the
2
Celeste
limited-time
thing in the
Wholesome Direct
background.
T-shirts celebrating today's event.
I've played
and
4 hours of
100%
Celeste
the
now, so now I
proceeds
can say
will
that I
go to
fucking love
supporting
the
the
game.
Galaxy Fund.
This is one small
literally
but
played Celeste the
important
first time
step that we
yesterday.
can take towards making our industry a more inclusive
And I'm a
space
pro
where
fucking gamer
bold
at it,
new
it turns
ideas
out.
can
It turns
If
out
you'd
that
like
there's
to
no
learn
video
more,
game that I've
you
ever
can
been
visit
better at than Celeste.
supportgalaxy.fund and get your limited time t-shirts at
That shit on the left looks great.
Wholesome Games.
Love the vibe of it. I need to buy more shirts. People are probably
we
sick of
are
seeing the same
Hardware.
ones over and over again in
Last year we
streams.
released Teacup, a wholesome adventure game about a
I bought like a
tea garden
shitload of
for
shirts before I started
bears in the
streaming, and then I bought very
This
few
year
since, so
we're
I just wear the
happy to
same
share
ones
with
over and
you
over
a
again.
teaser trailer for our new game, Bubblegum Galaxy. A chill
Cute kitty
building
cat.
strategy game about rebuilding the universe time by time.
Please enjoy.
Look at the cute kitty cat. I thought that said place mahjong tiles. I thought that said place mahjong tiles. The specter is just looming over me so aggressively. You blue screened the galaxy! You blue screened the galaxy! What did you do? There's flying scissors. Scissors snipping this garden back into shape. Trying to get snipped yourself.
Hello everyone. Here Comes Nico will be getting free DLC as part of the next update. It'll be coming to both PC and Nintendo Switch.
Interesting thing you got going here, where it's like a 3D platform, but your character is like 2D. Gotta make a hit in the game where you have to learn how to play Mahjong.
Snufkin, Melody of Moomin Valley, is a musical adventure game about restoring harmony and balance to Moomin Valley, protecting it from the industrious parkkeeper. Moomin was created by Tove Jansson in the 1940s.
I was about to say,
and
is this
started out
Moomin
as
as
a
in the thing
series
that
of
I've heard
books
about
and
for
comics.
Moomin? It is, yes.
The stories are about an adventurous family of Moomin trolls living
I have
in
no
a
idea
lovely
what
house
it is,
with
I've
many
just seen
interesting
it.
friends. Tove Jansson was not only a great writer, but also an amazing illustrator and artist. We want the game to look and feel like something Tove herself could have envisioned. Snufkin is our favorite character. He's a vagabond who's deeply connected with nature. He enjoys his own company, but is also very fond of his best friend, Moomin Troll. It's a cozy adventure with story, music and melancholic atmosphere as some of its most important ingredients, and a tiny bit of mischief. The game is
Cool
set
art
to
style.
release on PC and console in 2023, and you can wishlist it on Steam right now.
The Moomin fans are popping off. I know there's people out there who like Moomin.
Feed All Monsters is a cute and cozy line puzzle game. Assist a team of delivery workers in their quest to bring tasty food to all the little monsters.
Drawing lines on a grid to get them to all meet their destinations. Oh god. Oh god, you have no idea how
Find the
bad I
optimal
just
path
recently
for each
proved
worker
that I
in
am at
order
this.
to get all the monsters
Oh dear
fed.
god, no. I proved I was so bad at this, like, super fucking recently. Okay, I'm going through water relatively quickly, gotta calm down. I'm sorry, Skatebird, but I hate how your game controls. I do apologize, Skatebird. I was excited for it when I saw it, and then I started playing it, and I hate how the game controls. Like, I was there for like 2 or 3 hours, and I couldn't get it to work in like any capacity. I couldn't get anything to like do anything. What about this? Among Us? That won't make me pick it back up. No. And Yeah, I think I was there for like 2 hours trying to play Skatebird, and I just couldn't get anything to work in any capacity. Like, no matter what I did or how I did
Paper
it.
Trail is a top-down puzzle adventure about leaving home, set in a paper world.
No matter what I did, it was just like, I can't get this, I can't do anything. Anything I try to attempt to do, it just feels like the controls are fighting me at every second.
You must fold and tear your way through a diverse, populated paper world.
Like, I was so excited for it, and then it was just like, pass. On, like, continue playing it. Maybe other people who have, like, a shitload more experience playing, skateboarding games and stuff would be able to, like, understand what it wants from you. But if you don't have history with skateboarding games, Skatebird will do nothing to try and help you.
Solitaire is a relaxed,
It will do
roguelike story
nothing.
game in which you can catch a glimpse of the future.
That
via
Paper Trail
Solitaire.
game looks cool, though. Cool concept for the game. Of, like, folding things around. Is this roguelike Solitaire?
The twist lies in interpreting the card's meaning and which future they foretell.
I don't think I've ever won a game of Solitaire. I remember my father used to play the ever-loving fuck out of Spider Solitaire. And I played that, and I enjoyed that. And then I loaded up normal Solitaire one day. And I cried. Because I couldn't do anything. So I think Spider Solitaire was just the significantly easier version of normal Solitaire. I don't even remember the difference in terms of how it plays. I just remember specifically on Windows XP or whatever it was specifically called Spider Solitaire.
The Games and
And, like, the
Online
backs of the
Harassment
cards look like
Hotline is a
spiders.
text message-based, anonymous, and confidential emotional support hotline. And it's created specifically for the gaming community. Because we're gamers and creators, and we want to help each other.
And unfortunately,
So,
a shitload of us
how
in
does
the
it work?
community really
Well,
enjoy
you
calling
text
other
us
people
and we
slurs.
listen. Our hotline is 100% anonymous. We can talk about anything you need to, and only what you want to. The Games and Online Harassment Hotline is an inclusive resource for anyone, no matter how you identify. If you feel that you need emotional support, you can start right now by texting support to 23368, and our qualified responders will be there to listen to you, free of charge. Reach
USA
out,
only.
get help, and let's make this community a better place to work and play.
You notice with the Wholesome Direct, like, the difference in who it's made by, because, like, mentioning the funds and like, the hotline and stuff, and that shit doesn't come up. Summer Games Fest will bring Troy Baker onto the stage to talk for way too long about the video game that he's in.
Tale is an RPG with a
Twice.
unique battle system, puzzles, and platforming challenges synced to the beat of the music.
Giant sword. Set to the beat of the music. Is the battle the music and not the overworlds? It's set to the beat of the music. It's set to the beat of the music. Is the rhythm actually part of it? Not that it's bad if it's not. Also, Paper Mario is
Explore
hell again.
vivid locations, meet a cast of unforgettable animal characters, and uncover the secrets of the frog goddess Anura in this emotional journey.
Sorry, if your game has if your video game has turn-based RPG combat and then it has QTEs to press when you do your attack, I'm going to call it Paper Mario. I know it's not just a Paper Mario thing, but that's where I know it from, so that's what I'm gonna do.
Place conveyor belts to guide these delicious donuts to their destinations. Enjoy a dozen donut boxes.
Press the
each
button
with
to make the
unique
attack
flavor,
do more damage in a
mechanics, and
turn-based game,
adorable
so it
donuts.
feels like it's a more active experience than just playing through menus and you feel like you're controlling your character
Out
in
today
combat
on
too.
Nintendo Switch, Xbox,
Damn, it's a
PlayStation,
Paper Mario
Steam, and
game.
Epic Games Store.
Like, that's why I fell in love with
Puzzle
Thousand
Guide
Year Door
you
as
have
a
appeared
turn-based
around
game.
the world to bring an end
to humanity.
Because Thousand Year Door was like my introduction
These
to
kaiju aren't killers, Lucky. They're just looking for love.
horny kaijus. Kaiju. Isn't this that fucking Ninja Sex? I'm pretty sure that's just the premise of that Ninja Sex Party song. Rhinoceratops versus Super Puma. I'm pretty sure it's just that song.
Connect with nature in
I'm
this
pretty sure
adorable
that's all that
cottage-core
game
life sim
is.
about foraging,
Giant
cooking,
kaijus
and
fucking and
crafting.
destroying the town with the intensity of their fucking.
Live in harmony with nature while learning real-life plant and mushroom identification.
See, sex is wholesome. This direct proves it. Finally, the point that I try and make has been proved. Sex is indeed wholesome.
Cook dishes and
Fuck
make
you,
herbal
you
remedies
prudes.
that you can sell at the local farmers market. Customize your character and decorate your home while making cute decorations and upcycling furniture.
Was that game literally called Wholesome Out and About? So I have to go back and check. Was the game actually called Wholesome? The game is just straight up called Wholesome. You just called the game Wholesome.
Cook dishes and make herbal remedies that you can sell at the local farmers market.
I mean, it gets the point across.
Customize your character and decorate your home while making cute decorations and upcycling furniture.
My hair's irritating me. My hair always irritates me. Even if my hair is perfect and looks fantastic, and like it's doing exactly what I want it to, I'm a finicky person. I am never comfortable. I constantly readjust my hair and my clothing all the time. You probably notice that in streams. I do it all of the time. I'm never comfortable. The other side, do you die? Do you die and ascend? Is that what's happening?
Gaucho in the Grassland highlights the rural life of the Gaucho Pampas and their mysticisms. Return to the land of your childhood, rebuild your family's ranch with your friends, Cusco and Alazo, and experience adventures in this fantastic universe of Gaucho culture.
Like, it's cool they're doing different things. Like, they're doing different things to each other, each of them. Like it's cool, and I get that. Like, and I support them, like, going for, like, making the game that they want to make and stuff like that. It's just so mad. It's just so mad. Oh, well, these little bits have been leading up to mentioning an album? Oh. Well, that's what it was. Because we've seen, like, that, like, a few times in this. It was leading up to an album. I'm making a game! This is gonna play too. I think that, and my friends are gonna help. No. Oh, you're recording? Ah! You broke the camera, Crocodile.
Hi, Wholesome. I'm Luca, lead singer of OFK. This is Debug. They are a cat. Hologram. And on Monday, June 13th, we are releasing a free demo of our music biopic game at Steam Next Fest. we hope that our little story can
What
be
is Steam
something
Next
that you
Fest?
relate to.
Is that like a thing that you have
This
to
is
go
just
to?
us sharing
Or is that
our
a thing I can
experience
download?
That it is so hard to just make something and to share it with people. So many things get in the way, like jobs or heartbreak or losing a friend. So I guess We Are OFK is a story about the things that get in the way, good and bad. See you Monday at Steam Next Fest.
I mean, I still wouldn't want to play a demo. I want to like play the whole game when it comes out. Like, I'm excited for it. I'm sold on We Are
Moonbury's
OFK.
residents need healing, and you're the best chemist around. With your trusty tools, a brewing cauldron, and a canine companion at your side, you'll need to diagnose symptoms, gather ingredients,
Like,
brew
and it is
potions,
different.
and
Like,
cure
they are
ailments in
different.
this open-ended sim RPG.
I guess this is more so gathering than specifically farming. Hey, Misfits! Okay, this is farming. It's 1 a.m. I stream at great times. It's fine, don't worry about it. Fuck ton of Steam demos, dev interviews, stuff like that. Okay. Not E3 continues forever. Doing nothing but Monster Hunter. We do nothing but 14, so. Just more farming. I can't say anything more. Everything I've needed to say, I've said. It's just.
Jump from shadow to shadow in this colorful.
Oh yeah, this one I
beautifully
actually. Oh, yeah, I
animated
gotta write
world.
down this one from the other one. Skim. This is a cool concept. Good night. Just gotta stop in. Say hello.
Of other
Goodbye.
characters along
Fair.
your journey
It's 1
as you
a.m.
seek to reunite with your human counterpart.
Good night. That a little bit showed off way more about just like how you've got to interact with the shadows as they move around and stuff. I wonder if there's any like time-based stuff where like as the time passes then the shadows move around. Like if it's not farming, it's interior decorating. Or cooking.
In Bilkins' Folly, players take on the role of treasure hunter Percy Bilkins and his best friend Drayton, as they track down Percy's mother and grandfather, lost somewhere among a group of fictitious Caribbean islands in the late 1700s. Over the course of their journey, our duo will acquire a ship.
And the thing is, like,
visit
I know
exotic
people who are super
locations,
into farming games who
discover
don't get
terrifying
why
secrets,
I'm just
and
like,
attempt
oh,
to
there's so
break
many of
the
them and
curse
they're all
Bilkins'
so
Folly
similar and
before
stuff.
it's too late.
I know those same
For
people
all
would be
this,
the same people
Percy
who would
will
just be
build on a
like,
relationship with his own
all of the
community,
games that you play have
discover
like
the true meaning of
action in
family.
them, and like you hit the button and you do attacks, and then you press the button and you do the dodge, and you use the iframes to like go through the dodge, and like the solution to every problem is to just beat up the other person until they stop being a problem and stuff like that. How do all of those games like not blend into each other, and how do those games try and stand out and differentiate each other from each other? Don't you have too many games like that? To which the answer is also yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, yes. Yeah, it's hard for those games to stand out. I bet there's a shitload of action games that I'd fucking love that I just haven't noticed because there's so many of them that it gets hard for some of them to stand out. That is also true, yes.
Fill the world with blocks. And don't forget to clean up the mess.
Flyers don't place down any blocks.
Explore
And then there's no
colorful
mess
and
and done.
vibrant worlds in this 3D platformer adventure around the cosmos.
That's a cute concept.
One last time, we'd like to
That
talk
one
about
might get
our
a write-down. What was that
collaboration
one
with
called?
the Galaxy Fund.
The Galaxy
Oh,
Fund
sorry,
is a
Cammy.
prototype grant focused on the earliest stages of game development from BIPOC and queer creators.
That one gets a write-down.
We've partnered with the Yeti to offer 2 limited-time Wholesome Direct t-shirts celebrating today's event, and 100% of the proceeds go
I
to
was about to ask
supporting
why
the
are they
Galaxy
showing this so
Fund.
many
This
times?
is one small but
I mean, like, I know they
impactful
want to get
step
the
that we
point
can
across.
take towards
So,
making
like,
our
they don't want to
industry
mention it
a
once
more
and then people
inclusive
forget
place
about it because
where
they only
bold
mention it
new
once, like
ideas
10
can
minutes
flourish.
in, then people watch other stuff.
If you'd
But
like
also,
to
yeah, I
learn
think the
more,
idea is you're not meant
you
to
can
watch all of
visit
the Wholesome Direct in a single go because they
supportgalaxy.fund.
literally have dive into
And get your
missions
limited
of just
time
like,
shirts
here's a
at
break, go and do something instead of watching this for an hour
theyeyeti.com/wholesome
straight.
games.
Which I imagine is
Welcome
more so just for the people
aboard
who
Tracks of
like sitting there to watch something
Next
for an
stop,
hour straight. It's a
the
difficult
dining
thing for
car.
them to do. I am a streamer.
Here you can buy yummy snacks
Only
that will help
it's like
you
4
on your
hours or
journey.
so, as we learned the other day.
Your choices will shape the game, giving you personal challenges to overcome. Embrace yourself. Play the demo on Steam right now.
Toki Toki is a puzzle game about controlling time with the power of love. Hi, I'm Ai, and I'm on a quest through school to find the boy I love. But whenever I think about him, it feels like time slows down all around me. I'll have to toy with time, solve puzzles, and progress through school so I can finally confess my feelings. Every door is a chance to find my darling or make new friends.
Doki Toki, time slows down when you're in love.
You've been invited here to restore the island alongside adorable creatures known as critter crops. In this 100% hand-drawn Halloween-themed farming sim, you'll play as Sylvie, a young witch who is run out of her home due to her newfound abilities. Invite outcasts to stay in your town and protect your way of life. Unlock magical spells to protect yourself and your critters, and restore the island to its former glory.
Like I was joking. Like I was joking in the other thing where I said, do I want to watch Wholesome Direct or do I not want to see an hour of farming sims? Like I was joking. I would be more excited. Like it would be probably fine. Like for the people out there who love farming sims, like farming sims like their favorite type of game. For those people, is this an excess of them, or are they writing down all of them, just being like, yo, when I finish that one, I can move on to that one? Like I don't know. Because like when I was watching like Summer Games Fest, like I really like Dead Space as a game. And seeing Callisto Protocol, I'm just like, oh, another Dead Space, that is interesting. But then everything else in that presentation was a different Dead Space. And I was just like, okay, we're getting to too many of them.
Listen to and help villagers in trouble.
So like for the people who like
around
farming sims, is this too many farming sims for them to keep a track of?
Find collectibles hidden about.
Like I don't know.
I heard one Kibling is willing to trade them for upgrades.
Farm the farming sim simulator.
We prepared the demo for you and it's available.
Also, this
right
power
now.
has the ability of
We hope you
electricity,
enjoy it.
which is adorable. It's basically a Pikachu. Sorry. Stop comparing the indie budget things to massive budget things. Stop it. Do it. It's Pikachu. See, I'm not the only one who said it was Pikachu. A farming adventure. Can I have a video game? Can I have a video game where the premise of the video game is, in the video game, I'm a game developer and I'm making a farming sim? Like, because I know there's like Game Dev Simulator where it's like, or things like that, where it's like you play as someone who's making a video game and you're trying to sell it and stuff, and then you got to see how well the business does and stuff like that. Is there a game where you're specifically making a farming sim and you have to decide the mechanics and functions and aesthetics of like your farming sim game to try and make it and then see how well it goes? Hey, a little to the left.
There's a lot to tidy up, and a little to the left.
This one gets right down.
Every day brings something new, with the Daily Tidy delivery. The Daily Tidy takes puzzles from the game and gives them a
We still
special
listen to the
twist.
devs. This is cute. This one gets it right
With
down.
many variations
I gotta
of
do
these
this more
puzzles,
frequently, where I'm
you'll
actually
get
just
something
writing them
different
down.
every day.
Because then I'll
unique
just
to
like
you.
put that list into
And you can earn
into the
fun badges
computer.
too. Not that you don't already have your paws full.
And like if they've got a release date, I can just like, oh, then it comes out then. I'm a metaphor for Animal Crossing now.
Hey there, we're Aesthetician Labs.
As you may have heard, we were brought
give
onto
it.
Kokopa's Atlas to continue development earlier this year.
In Kokopa's Atlas, you will embark on a grand journey to an unknown planet. Since last year, we've been working hard to implement a procedurally generated farm and crafting adventure following our adorable adventurers
thought it was
Kokopa
like-
and Polymera.
We're really excited about
A
our
kind
vision
of like
for the
3D
game,
action
and we
game
hope
of
that
running
our new
around,
Wholesome Direct exclusive demo will get
like
you excited
levels
too.
and stuff.
We'd love for you to check it out and let us know what you think.
To the farming simulator.
The Wandering Village is a city-building simulation game on the back of a giant creature called Ombu.
Okay, like
It's a game
yeah,
about
that stands
symbiosis
out.
in which
This
you
stands
traverse
out as a
the
different
opposite world
game.
Together. So take good care of Onbu.
This stands out. This is different.
Make sure to keep
Do
it
something like
clean,
that.
healthy,
Do something like that. It will stand the fuck
Standing
out
out
as a. I mean, it's technically a city building sim, not a farming
and
sim,
since
but
Onbu is a good boy,
this stands
don't
out.
forget the pets, and you will be rewarded with its trust.
That stands out as a concept. City building sim on the back of a giant creature.
Lonesome Village combines puzzle solving and social sim elements to create something completely unique.
Gotta stop.
Everything is wrapped in a fantasy adventure with a deep, intriguing story and no combat.
Please.
Play as Wes, the coyote, to help unravel the calamity
Like,
that
there's
befell
other
the
stuff
village.
going on here. Like, there's puzzles and stuff, yes, but like.
Coming this year to Steam, Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X.
I'm really feeling like what crafting.
It's almost time to say goodbye.
What crafting mechanics
But
were for
before we
like
go,
AAA
we'd like to
games
share even
for a
more
few
wholesome
years
games with you. Coming out this year
is becoming
and
what
beyond.
farming mechanics
Now,
are for
these are going to
indie
go
games.
pretty fast. So after the show, you can visit wholesomegames.com.
Just
for
go
more
full
information
fucking
and links to all
circle.
of these games.
Just go full fucking circle. And give me a farming simulator roguelike with an 8-bit pixel art aesthetic. Just go full on with it at this point. Just fully embrace it. Stop! If I see one more watering can, I'm going to lose my mind. Again, I got nothing against any of the individual games. I got nothing against the devs making these games. I feel for the devs who try to stand out when there's so many of them. And then the people who put together the direct put so many of them into the same direct. Oh, and all FPS games had to be cover shooters and almost drove the genre into the ground. Yeah. So that's my thing, like, we've seen that oversaturation in the AAA space. So I'm really worried for indies where there's so many of them. Like, if roguelikes had a crash in indie games where it's like unless your indie game is Hades, so like you look like, is it too much now? Okay, that's a good one. Is that only a co-op game, or can you play that single player? It looked like it was co-op because like you were counting down a timer. That one gets. I'm gonna write down that one. Red and Fred. If that's if you can do that single player, I'd absolutely play it. Procedural generating deck building farm simulator. Again, even if you're a fan of farming simulators, is it too many? Because again, like, I'm a fan of Dead Space, and I was excited when I saw Callisto Protocol, and then they showed me 7 other Dead Spaces in the Summer Games Fest, and I was just like, stop, please, stop giving me sci-fi space horror. I've seen way too much of this today. Knock it off. And that was like 7. I think I've seen 30 plus farming games today. Picture taking, that's another pretty popular trope lately. Yeah, there's quite a few of those, yeah. And none of them are as good as the real picture taking game, Near Future. I haven't played Umurangi Generation. I know I should. I should play Umurangi. I'm probably even butchering the name. If that's not the name of the game, whatever the name of the game is. But Umurangi Generation, I should absolutely play. Farm Simulator is kind of the go-to wholesome game, and Animal Crossing and Stardew Valley both got huge. Yeah, but that's my thing, right? Not every farming simulator can be Animal Crossing and Stardew Valley. So when as many of them exist as there is, like, is it an oversaturation and they have more trouble selling? Or do people who love farming simulators, are they willing to buy multiple of them? Or do people who like farming simulators only... Is this a farm... Is it... Deku. 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 Did you know this was coming up? Did you know that the deck building roguelike farm simulator was coming up? Or did you just actually call that and then they fucking showed it? Stop! Stop! I did not watch this. I would have added in not Pokemon. Like, at this point, it's not about the devs. It's not about... That gets right down. That immediately gets right down. Perfectly. Like, at this point, it's not even about the devs, like, making too many of them. Because there's 16 trillion games being made on the planet at any given time, right? Like... It's not that you can't make a game if other people are making a game in the same genre, because there's a million... I swear to God. Okay, it's cooking. It's cooking, not fun. It's cooking, not fun. But, like, if you're making... Like, if you're making the Wholesome Direct... If you're the one who's, like, putting together the Wholesome Direct, deciding what game should be in there... Like... At what point are you putting in too many farming simulators that they all blend into each other and none of them stand out? Again, that's my concern, is the oversaturation and, like, these devs putting clearly good, talented work and hard work into making these games. They look fantastic, and making any video game and releasing it is fucking impressive, no matter what the circumstances are, right? And, like, I'm sure a lot of them have got their ideas of how they want to stand out from the crowd, and, like, they want to do unique things, or they want to do something with it, or it's just like, that's just something that speaks to them, and that's the type of game that they want to make, and that's totally fair, and it's totally fine. I have nothing against them making it, but, like, if you're, like, putting together the Wholesome Direct, and then, like, to have all of that hard work by all of those devs to be put into a show where it blends in with everything else. Like, obviously, like, they're getting advertisements, so that's, like, seeing it here is, like, better than not seeing it anywhere, I guess, but, like, there's just so many that, like, for the people who are die-hard farming simulator fans, which one do they decide to buy out of the ones here? Like, if they're a die-hard farming sim person, but they'll only play, like, maybe 2 or 3 games a year, because a farming simulator is the type of game where you can put, like, shitloads of hours into it. Or maybe they like farming simulators, but they just don't play a shitload of games. So whenever they play it, they like playing farming simulators. How do they decide which one to buy out of the 50 that we've been shown today? There's, like, the Wholesome Direct had... Is that a farming simulator? Like, the Wholesome Direct had, like, what, over 100 games?
To the end of today's
Half
program.
of them are farming simulators.
WholesomeGames.com to find links to every
Speaking
title featured in
everyone
today's show.
making one through the game, Nickelodeon Smash Clones was kind of meh. Warner Bros. looks legitimately sick as fuck.
And we'll see you again next year.
The platform fighter is definitely taking off. And
here's one more game
the platform fighter
you'll
genre
love.
is expanding beyond just Smash and indie games. Though the concern is how shitty will the free-to-play stuff for multiverses be? Oh my god, is this Rhythm Heaven? Like, styled game? Scripture and levels in the level editor? Oh my god. Oh my god. It's totally Rhythm Heaven based, but like you're doing actions to the rhythm. Oh my god. It's absolutely like... I'm not saying it is exactly like Rhythm Heaven, but like the thing that I like about Rhythm Heaven is the fact that I don't feel like I'm pressing buttons as they appear on a screen while a song happens to be playing. It feels like I'm like playing a thing and controlling characters and stuff, and I'm just trying to do things to the beat. That's what makes me really like Rhythm Heaven as a rhythm game. Like, it feels like I'm very much trying to play along to the rhythm and the beat and stuff like that. Whereas a lot of things that are rhythm games feel way more just like, here are buttons to press. You press the buttons. By the way, there is a song playing. Ever play Patapon? It's the episode of that. Is Patapon... Is Patapon the one with the balls? Like, that roll around and, like, they split together and form into giant ones? And it has the enemies that look incredibly fucking racist? Is that Patapon? Like, I saw someone show off the game, and I was like, it looks interesting. And then I saw, and then I heard the music, and then I saw the characters that you play as, and then I saw the enemies, and I'm just like, this also seems extraordinarily fucking racist, though. Of just like, the characters kind of look like blackface, in the sense that they've got like big eyes and giant red lips, and I'm just like, okay. It's interesting that you've got that when the music is like what like people would stereotypically and offensively call tribal music, right? Like, that's the horrible term for it, but like, if someone was to describe that, then you know what they mean, because they don't know what it's actually called, which I don't know what it's called, which is why I'm doing that, but like it feels like what would be the stereotype of what someone would say that music is. And then, like, the characters look like they have big red lips with, like, big white eyes on them and stuff like that. I'm like, okay. And then the enemies are, like, all black, giant red lips, and have, like, long, like, basically dread-like hair. And I'm just like, this feels extraordinarily fucking racist. Is that Patapon? Because I know that, because the music was good. But just with everything else combined, it felt incredibly racist. But I don't know if that's my brain is saying that's Patapon, but I don't know if that's Patapon. If it's not Patapon, I don't know what game I'm thinking of. Enemies do not sound familiar. I can't think of what game it was. So I don't think it was like strictly rhythm. I think it was like fast platforming. With the music and the backgrounds. Like, the whole game was pure flat colors. And, like, and, like, you played as a bunch of characters where it was, like, they were all orbs with eyes, basically. And, like, they could join into, like, giant ones or split into a bunch of, like, a lot of little ones. I don't know what the game was. But that's not Patapon. Then, no, I have no idea what Patapon is. You know what? But you know what? You describing it as exactly what it's like, the type of thing that I want. It's not even part of the Wholesome Direct, but I'll write down Patapon. Patapon gets a write down too. So I wrote down Terra Nil. That was the one at the beginning of the game where you're like restoring biodiversity to a place. Bear Jack, playing as a bear going around beating the shit out of like manufacturing, destroying the forest. Free Ride, that was like the game where you're running around and like it's a secret personality test. How to Say Goodbye, that was like that tile sliding thing with like the ghosts and stuff where like you gotta move them around. Paper Animal RPG was Paper Mario. Skim, I think, was the shadow one. Where you jump between the shadows and stuff. You've got Togges, Togges, I think that was the one where you like the collectathon where you're like building blocks everywhere. Little to the Left is that adorable puzzle game of like an organization based puzzle game. Bread and Fred was that cool like platformer thing that we saw for a couple seconds of like them swinging on ropes together. If that's not co-op and you can just control them both, then I'd probably play that, but I don't have people to play co-op games with, so I wouldn't do that. Paper Clay was like, I think that was the one with like the moving around the cube and like as like a platforming thing. So I talk about just like, oh, they're all farming simulators, and every fucking game in here that I want to play is a fucking platformer. Melatonin, that was the rhythm game at the end. That's like Rhythm Heaven, and Patapon, which is apparently like that. Tentacle, I've not seen Nintendo Directs. We're doing that soon. We just finished off Wholesome Direct, which yeah, we just finished that. So then we're gonna watch the Xbox thing, because I also haven't caught up on that. After the Xbox thing, I'm watching the Nintendo Direct. But speaking of, that's basically the end outro for the YouTube video. Stay tuned for the next video for the Xbox thing. Bye!